Hey, welcome back to the Marvel of E-Bikes, episode 12. First, I want to say thank you. I just hit over 350 subscribers in the past week, and I really appreciate that. You know, it's just going to put more pressure on me to come out with really good content because obviously the more subscribers you get, the bigger responsibility that you have. If you follow my channel, you know that I've been riding the Aventon Adventure e-bike for about just under 1,000 miles right now, and absolutely love the bike. But as I said in my first episode, that was the first e-bike that I ever actually saw or unboxed or ridden actually. So in today's video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today, I'm going to compare the Aventon to another e-bike. At one of my coworkers, we were talking about e-bikes, and he said, "Hey, I just purchased an e-bike, and maybe would consider doing a comparison video." So I said, you know, that may not be a bad idea. So shout out to JN for suggesting that, and I wanted to thank him for dropping the bike off to me. But when we talk about comparisons, I'm not doing a full review on this e-bike. I'm just doing features and benefits and value. When we talk about features, people think of features as why one thing is better than another. And the truth is, a feature is actually what the bike has. So just take note, when I do the comparison, I'm not saying one feature or benefit or value is better than the other. Take that with a grain of salt. It's not going to be a full review video. It's going to be a comparison. These bikes are somewhat similar in price. If you add in all the upgrades that I did, it's about the same price as he paid for his bike. So without further ado, let me introduce you to this type of bike, which is also a fat tire e-bike, but very different in a lot of ways. So welcome to the Pedego Elements. This is a fat tire, 20-inch bike. The reason I'm excited about this is because this is an American-made bike. They've been around, I believe, since 2008, and they do a really nice job having stores located throughout the US, so you can actually go into the store and purchase this bike and deal with bike shop in your local area, so that's kind of nice. It has some similarities, but it also has some things that are very different. So it does have the aluminum frame like the Aventon Aventure. It does come with a 500-watt motor, and I'm going to go over some of these little things. Like I said, it's not a full review, but I just want you to know what kind of bike I'm comparing this to. So as you can see here, it has a Shimano cassette, 7 speeds as compared to an 8-speed, a Microshift RDM265 derailleur. It also has a Pedego lithium-ion battery. Not sure what the amp hours are, but it says it can go 45 to 50 miles of range based on your pedal assist. The front is a 48 tooth. I don't know the specs on the teeth in the back there. As you can see, the color is absolutely stunning. This red is really kind of that nice red that sticks out. I do like the fact that the wheels have the red around them. They come in several different colors. This is also a Class 2 bike, which means it'll go up to 20 miles an hour. Now, I did notice on here it says it was 14.5. That may be the watt hours, which is kind of nice. You actually have the ability to check your battery level at a moment's notice. Everything is integrated into the frame. The cable management is very well done. It has the lockout front suspension. There is no rear suspension in this, just like my Aventon. The seat that comes with the bike seems very comfortable. I also had a chance to ride this bike for a little bit yesterday and kept this seat on and also put my seat on just for comparison. And it handles the bumps just fine. It's a very comfortable bike. The sitting position is a little different. The handlebars to the seat height comparison is a little bit different than the Aventon, where the handlebars are a little bit higher, but then again, I put the adjustable stem on there. Now, how a Microshift compares to a Shimano derailleur system, I don't really know, but in I did get a chance to take this out, like I said, and the shifting is absolutely smooth. There's times you can't even hear it shifting. That's how smooth it is. The bike does come with Tektro brakes. They are cable compared to a full hydraulic. And again, that's the feature. What's the benefit? Well, I'll be honest with you, these brakes, the back brake was a little bit tough to get motivated to want to stop, but once you apply that front brake, these brakes will stop you dead in your tracks. So it's just a matter of preference. Do you like the low maintenance of hydraulic brakes, or saving on cost? Just get the cable brakes, which need adjustment, and the cables do stretch over time. So again, that's just a benefit of having hydraulic brakes. Doesn't mean they're any better. They are a little more consistent. Next, I want to talk about the LCD display. It's on the left-hand side. The bike does come with a bell. I had to purchase one extra. So the LCD seems to work fine. Not too hard to navigate through. You do have to kind of play with it to figure out how to use it, but overall, no issues. I think the speedometer may be a little bit more accurate than on the Aventon, just because when I got up to top speed, it seemed a lot faster for some reason. So the brake, like I said, the brake handles are fine. As far as the gear shifter, it's showing as a micro shift, and you have your down and your up. They're both on the same side, where on the Aventon it's on both sides. You got your finger and your thumb. And again, that's just the feature. Is it any easier or any more difficult? Probably not, just a matter of what you're used to. So the battery has a key that you're able to unlock right from the frame. It's not integrated into the frame, but it almost looks like part of the frame. It kind of breaks up the middle two poles here, which looks really nice. You're able to plug in. It's got a fast charger. It said 3 to 5 hours on that. What's nice about this is when you actually remove the battery, and it comes out through the side, which is the same idea as the Aventon, which is nice, and it snaps back in. What's nice about that is you don't have exposure to the elements from the top so much, and you don't have stuff splashing up underneath to get in the electronics. So it's kind of a good thing to have it in that position there. You can see the battery management and the components are right here. Now, where my coworker bought this bike, he said it came with a comfort package, including these are metal, which are nice. Aventon also has the metal ones. Like I said, I don't typically use them. I don't go a lot off-roading, but if you do, they seem to keep the dirt out pretty well. This is one nice bag here. You could probably go camping in this thing. It's very versatile. So overall, when I got onto the bike, first thing I did notice is that obviously it's a little bit smaller, from the wheels to the frame, and which is not a problem. It is just a different style of bike. So let's say you want to compare this to maybe a Honda Civic type sport car, where maybe the Aventon would be more like a crossover. But let's also talk about this, because this was a major issue here with questions asking about throttle versus thumb. I like the thumb. I only rode the thumb, didn't know anything else. But I'll be honest with you, these locking grips are really nice. They don't move. And having this riding like this and holding it, I could see why people prefer that. It's really what you're used to. If you're looking at a bike and you can't make up your mind, honestly, both of them will work fine. So when riding this bike, the first thing I noticed was the motor. This is a 500 watt motor, peaks out about 860, where the Aventon Aventure motor is 750 and peaks out about 1100. Obviously, the Aventon Aventure is a little bit more powerful of a motor, a little bit more torque, but this thing is not lacking in any speed whatsoever. One thing I did notice from pedal assist 4 to 5 is there's a huge difference. When you hit that fifth, it kicks in. and you get up to speed rather quickly. So unless you don't want to go fast, you're better off keeping it in that 2 to 3 range. But this does have plenty of power. Let's talk about handling a little bit. This is obviously a little bit more nimble. It's a little bit different of a ride. When you're sitting, your back is pretty straight, but your arms are coming more down of an angle, which means you're going to have a little more hand fatigue as you're riding. So, to be fair, I have the comfort grips, which gives you a little bit more room out here, but just be wary that you are going to come down at a steeper angle, which is going to give more weight on your arm, which is going to give you a little more fatigue. But the comfort in this, I said, is very good. I haven't had a chance to take it out on a real long trip. It does not have an integrated backlight as the Aventon does. They said that was one of their big selling points on that, but it only has it on the one side, not the other side. So, it just allows you to customize it a little bit more. You can put a nice brake light or something on the back there. Choosing your color and customizing it would be really neat for this bike. The build quality to this is excellent. It does have weld marks where the Aventon has been smoothed out, but I'll tell you, whoever did this welding did a phenomenal job. And again, that's just a matter of preference. It doesn't make it any better or any worse. And if you prefer hydraulic brakes, I just happen to be into the tech stuff, but it doesn't mean these brakes don't work any worse. This bike is a few pounds lighter, not too much lighter than the Aventon. You're showing 160 millimeter rotors, and the Aventon has 180 millimeters. And the difference is obviously physics. The larger the rotor, the more surface you have to stop it. So being a Class 2 bike with a top speed of 20 miles an hour, and the fact that it has a 500 watt motor, I don't think this thing can be unleashed to go a little bit faster. Where the Aventon, through the app, you can release a little bit more speed to go 28 miles an hour. So overall, you can see the difference in the size. So who's the perfect person to buy a Pedego Element? It's the same person that's buying the Aventon Adventure. It's a fat tire bike that is made for pavement trail riding or light off-road riding. As far as an age group goes, is this good for older folks? The Aventon has a little bit more stability just because of its size. You have to be more of a bike rider for the Pedego than you would for the Aventon, and again, that's just my opinion. But, if you're 30, 40, 50 years old, Pedego bike, or even younger, it's a fun bike to ride. I mean, this bike, I got more looks riding this bike around a neighborhood than I did with my bike, because I think both bikes are definitely have great value and really don't need too many upgrades unless you're really into upgrading and spending money on stuff that you probably wouldn't need. Here for the last couple of days, and I did get a chance to ride the bike, so let's go out and shoot some video on this bike and see what it's all about. So I had to wait till the next day. Beautiful day out today, so we're going to take this for a little bit of a ride down a test strip that I found. You've seen in one of my episodes before where I was doing the speed test. Got a little bit of room here, flat level ground. In the daylight, in the sun, that red really shines out. It's actually a matte finish on the bike, which really looks nice. So once on the bike, set the pedal assist, pretty easy. We're going to start out in 1, and I'm in, I believe, 6th gear. The pedal assist do max out. So this is pedal assist 1. I'm doing about 8 miles an hour. The thing is, when you go into the next assist, it's not gradual. It actually pulls you right in. So it's got a strong pull on each assist. So you just got to be careful of that. Compared to the Aventon, it essentially it's more of a gradual pedal assist. We'll see how when that kicks in, when I start pedaling, it takes off. So you just be wary of that. So for example, I'm doing 9 miles an hour now. When I go to pedal, it jerks right in. So you got to be wary of that, but it's got some power behind it. So now I'm going to go to 3, and like I said, it kicks in. So now I'm in the highest pedal assist here. Highest gear, 7th gear. We're at 21 miles an hour. So it is cruising. That is effortless. Like I said, I think sometimes you almost outrun the gear. When you're in the 7th gear, you may need an 8th gear. So what I'm going to do is do the just full out throttle, see how fast we can get up to, and you will notice, or at least I did notice, that it does get up a little bit faster to 20 miles an hour, but it does cap out at 20 miles an hour. So let's see how it does. So now, as I'm pedaling, I'm going to do a little bit of shifting for you. Very smooth, you can hardly hear it. Very easy downshift. That's the downshift. Now I'm going to do the upshift. That's with the second thumb press. Very smooth. This bike is certainly a lot of fun to ride. I think the younger generation, or even maybe my generation, would absolutely love this. So I'm going to take this bike out for a little ride today and just enjoy it while I have it. But for complete specs and pricing, go to their website, Pedego Bikes, and look up the Element. It comes in several colors. You'll find a color that's right for you if you decide to buy this. But I'm just giving you a little more options out there. Like I said, either bike will do you just fine. So thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.